Can you really not hear me? Oh.
Have you started?
Yeah, oh yeah, it's after 7, honey. Oh well. Always has to be something. Some signal from the other shore would be appreciated. Good evening, friends. I am hoping that things are happening and that I am audible. I do not know that is true yet, but I'm going to assume that I am. And this is me, Bert Lee. Welcome to the House of Love. This is where my wife, Josephine, and myself dwell. And soon we will be living in the same building, but in another apartment. How wonderfully strange is that? I've got a show of perhaps an hour to an hour and a half worth of music for you. Because of what the requirements are here at YouTube, I do mostly original songs. And anything else I do will be exotic covers of songs that are long ago in the public domain. And I'm going to start off with a traditional American tune. When I first came to town, they called me the Roving Jew. Now they've changed their tune, they call me Katie Cruz. Through the woods I go, through the swamp and mire, straight way down the road till I come to my heart's desire. If I was where I would be, I'd be where I am not. Here I am where I must be, where I would be, I cannot. When I first came to town, they bought me drinks aplenty. Now they've changed their tune. They bring me the bottle empty. Through the woods I go, through the swamp and mire, straight way down the road till I come to my heart's desire. If I was where I would be, I'd be where I am not. Here I am where I must be, where I could be, I cannot. When I first came to town, they bought me drinks aplenty. Now they change their tune, they bring me the bottle empty. Through the woods I go, through the swamp and the mire, straight way down the road till I come to my heart's desire. Wide awake before the dawn, my purpose and my purse are gone. I can't go on, I will go on. The battle's lost before the sword is drawn, my shield and helmet put in pawn. I can't go on, I will go on. Time the thief is come and gone and left me defenseless on my own. I can't go on. Newborn cries, and that's the start of songs and sadness, love and war, a rush of language from the heart, windows, madness, lamps and doors, metonym and metaphor, it's words alone and nothing else except the story silence tells. There is no creature stranger than this beast they call my fellow man. I can't go on, I will go on. Who denies the earth but claims the moon and staggers to the fiddler's tune? Born too late, dies too soon. First breath in, last breath out, birth's entrenchment, life's redoubt. I can't go on, I will go on. I've lost all the things I thought I've owned. Now I find that they were merely loaned. I can't repay, so I can't stay. My dreams were stolen by the dawn, my purpose and my pulse are gone. The battle's lost before the sword is drawn, no peace has been agreed upon, and weak as an abandoned pawn I seek to, but I can't go on. go on. Can't go on, but I'll go on. Good evening, friends. Nice to know I've got some nice folks out there in my audience. Welcome to the show. Got a nice lineup of original tunes, a couple of traditional songs thrown into the mix today. And this next tune is my homage to Mr. Dylan. I have been invited by my friend Fabio Fantuzzi from Napoli to be part of a symposium of Dylan singers and Dylan songs. And it's all on account of this song, which is all about Bob Dylan's hobby, which is being maddeningly poetic and now welding giant metal sculptings. I'll give you salt for silver if you'll only make the trade. This poetry, these melodies are things that I have made. I've woven them from songs I've heard, from stories I've been told. I'll give you salt for silver unless you offer gold. Build a big machine, a mechanical collage. Gonna build it in the workshop in the back of my garage. Gonna be a wild contraption made of cogs and wheels and gears and discarded bits of everything I've gathered through the years. And when it gets to rolling, it's gonna make an awesome sound, like thunder in the mountains or an earthquake underground. When I'm done, they're gonna ask me, Bob, just what does that thing do? And I would turn around and ask them, man, well, what's it do for you? Gonna write a crazy song, not sure what it's gonna mean. Might be plain, might be a puzzle, might be something in between. Gonna populate the verses with people from my dreams. It might point to something deep, or maybe just be what it seems. And when I get to singing, it's gonna make an awful noise. I really can't be bothered by the folks my voice annoys. When I'm done, they're gonna pray, what does that thing do? And I will turn around and answer them, man, what's it do for you? Do I really have to tell you that is just the way I roll? I'm just a simple farm boy with a complicated soul, who set out first to follow in Woody Guthrie's tracks, to sing about the common man and the burdens on their backs. I'm going to write an epic novel, a mountain range of prose. It might turn the tide of history or turn all my friends to foes. It's gonna be a wild concoction made of thoughts and words and prayers. There might be nothing underneath when you peel away the layers. Oh, if I fail in that ambition, I'm gonna put away my pen, put on ordinary clothes, and go and walk the world of men. Gonna look in all their faces at the stories in their eyes, in the hopes that all the misery I see there makes me wise. Do I really have to tell you that is just the way I roll? I'm just a simple farm boy with a complicated soul, who set out first to follow in Woody Guthrie's tracks, to sing about the common man and the burdens on their backs. who got waylaid in the city by the beatniks and the clowns, and the grief that always comes to you from mixing ups and downs, who tried his hand at Jesus and then suffered a relapse and had to rebuild his ideas from all these bits and scraps. I'll give you salt for silver if you'll only make the trade. This poetry, these melodies are things that I have made. I've woven them from songs I've heard, from stories I've been told. I'll give you salt for silver unless you offer gold. Salt for Silver from my album Salt for Silver. I'm going to name everything Salt for Silver. My wife and I are going to move to a new apartment. We're going to get a cat, so I'm going to call him Salt for Silver. That's the way that's going to work. What fun it is to play music for my friends. Welcome.
No.
What?
No.
My wife screams no. We won't call him Salt for Silver or Salty or Silverado or anything like that. We'll call him something cute and cuddly. I'm going to take these headphones and turn them around the other way, because that's the way I roll. And okay, this tune is what was I going to do? Oh yes. There I stood on the streets, a grown man at last, with the road at my feet. I turned my back to the past. It's a story of old. You've heard it before, I know it's been told. With the sun in my eyes, I went seeking the prize. My father, he told me I had best take some care, and he offered me money to help pay for my fare. It's a story of old. You've heard it before, I know it's been told. With the sun in my eyes, I went seeking the prize. It's a story of old. You've heard it before, I know it's been told. With the sun in my eyes, I went seeking the prize. Now the miles, they are many, back to where I come from. And the prize, if there's any, is just a ticket back home. It's a story of old. You've heard it before, I know it's been told. With the sun in my eyes, I went seeking the prize. Oh, that's the prize from the good old days of the Central Park Sheiks, the Eastern Kings of Western Swing. there. There we go. My mother always said, it's polite to be in tune. And I try to be polite. So, this is a song about my neighborhood. Just a funny anecdote on the side. For a while in the last 2 weeks, it looked like we were going to be losing this apartment. And in fact, we're losing this apartment that we're in. But the landlord has proven to be an angel in disguise and is moving us into a downstairs apartment, which, while it has some drawbacks, will come to us cheaper and will keep us from the horrible hassle of trying to find a place to live with all the crazy things that are already going on in our lives. So, God bless, and that's a good thing. Alrighty. So, where was I before I so rudely interrupted myself? Here we go. This is about my neighborhood. Our old Italian neighborhood has turned Chinese maybe for good. Water, water everywhere. The ghetto has been gentrified. The first folks have been pushed aside. Doesn't matter if it's fair. It's the same thing everywhere. Well, the Indians who once lived here, they made their trade in hunting deer. Water, water everywhere. They made a bargain with the Dutch that really didn't leave them much. But the Dutchmen didn't care. It's the same thing everywhere. Now the hippies have all moved upstate. The hipsters came to take their place. Maybe the only difference is the hair. And the little shops you could afford to shop in once, they now are boarded. But the building owners, they don't care. It's the same thing everywhere. Well, the water just goes where it will. You know it always flows downhill. Rivers running everywhere. And who are you and I to kid? It just does what it always did. It just goes where it's meant to be, flowing till it finds the sea. Water, water everywhere. Now the music clubs have all shut down. New York is a rich man's town. Doesn't matter if it's fair. And the only music that remains is while you're waiting for the trains. You can tip them if you care. Free music everywhere. 'Cause the money just goes where it must. It's all about the boom or bust. Buddy, have you got a dime to spare? And who are you and I to kid? It settles for the lowest bid. The bottom line is where it goes. That's just the way the money flows. Doesn't matter if it's fair. In my new Chinese neighborhood, the people that I meet are good. It's the same thing everywhere. No matter where they come from, friend, they're only people in the end. It's not their fault they had to settle there. People, people, people everywhere. People trying just to be everywhere like you and me, like water flowing to the sea, going where we're meant to be. Water, water. Water, 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 water. After all this time, do I have to tell you I'm not guilty of the crimes you accuse me of? What do I have to do to win back your love? If I had to do it all again, would I even be just one whit wiser? Probably not. You have to live with what you've got. My hands are empty now, and I'm really not too sure just how we'll ever make amends. Is this the way our story ends? Lovers once, now barely friends. If you ask me why, I guess I'd have to try some awkward alibi you disabuse me of. What do I have to do to win back your love? My eyes are open wide, still I cannot see inside your guarded space. If you won't turn to face me, if I had to do it all again, would I even be just one whit wiser? Probably not. What do I have to do to win back your love? Why do I have to go and put myself above you? Darling, what do I have to do to win back your love? Oh, why did I have to go and put myself above you, darling? And that was a bunch of tunes from my sort of folky acoustic side. A lot of those songs can be found on Salt for Silver, which still continues to sell out of Bandcamp, and I appreciate all the people who donate their attention to my songs and listen and come and join me for my live streams, and everyone's a sweetheart in this world. This next tune is the title of my first published novel, Dead Man's Coat. And I wrote several novels in the last couple of years, and a collection of short stories that just recently came out. A collection of short stories right here, which you can now get minus the author's proof copy across the front of it there at Amazon Books. The book is called The White Gallery, which is hard to read in this light, and it's a collection of short stories I think you would like a great deal. And I appreciate all the people who read my books. And if you do get my books from Amazon and you have a chance to do it, drop a review, because people who are acknowledged as having purchased the book, they like to publish your reviews. Otherwise, I would just flood it with reviews with funny names, you know, Kukla, Fran, and Ali, and I won't do that. If you like my books, just let them know there. And the more reviews I get, it seems, the more books I sell, which is a nice thing to know. My shoes in Dublin, I borrowed a dead man's coat. I left it all behind me, and I stowed onto a boat. Left it all behind me to be swallowed up by time. If they ever come and find me, they pardon me, my kind. They say I killed my father, but I only stole his name. He was murdered by a bottle all, but I'll gladly share the blame. Murdered by a bottle, and maybe death has set him free. Now if I could only lose that ghost that hides inside of me. His ghost is in my mirror. His ghost is in my mind. Living underneath my skin, and it won't be left behind. I tried my best to kill it, but the damn thing never dies. It stands so hard above me, whiskey in its eyes. Confession, for whatever it is worth. I'm haunted by my father, just like every man on earth. Haunted by my father, like every ordinary Jake. He stands so hard above me, like a storm about to break. I'm sailing to America just to find what might be found. I'll throw these memories overboard and I pray that they stay drowned. Throw this baggage overboard to be swallowed by the sea. Now if I could only lose this ghost that hides inside of me. Left my shoes in Dublin, borrowed a dead man's coat. I left it all behind me and I stowed onto a boat. Left it all behind me to be swallowed up by time. Oh, if they ever come and find me, may they pardon me my crime. The Dead Man's Coat, my grandfather's story, in there, somehow in there. Thank you, friends. I hear your appreciation even in this remote zone. This is a tune, this is a tune. There's no question about it. Once again, goes back to the Central Park Sheiks days, and I think I'll use this fancy little capo here. It works better for this song. Central Park Sheiks, the Eastern Kings of Western Swing. You can still find our album released without our actually even knowing it was being released by EMI Records. The album's called Honeysuckle Rose, and this song is not on it. The Prize, which I sang earlier, was a... Blackbird sitting on a fence post, laughing like he knows some kind of joke. I fail to see what's so funny. My whole world just went up in smoke. Won't you let me in on the joke? Scarecrow dancing in a cornfield, dancing while the wind blows him around. Sometimes I feel like that scarecrow, watching over my dry patch of ground, while the wind just blows me around. There's a strange kind of music in the branches of the trees, like a song on a broken guitar. And those crows on a fence don't make any more sense than some crazy fools in a bar who sing a broke down honky-tonk waltz. Blackbird flies over to the scarecrow. It doesn't scare him a bit, just sits on his shoulder to mock him and laughs at his own senseless wit. That scarecrow doesn't scare him a bit. Blackbird, fly away from my shoulder. Blues, fly away from my heart. I've had this shadow upon me, oh darling, since we've been apart. Blues, fly away from my heart. There's a strange melody hangs in the breeze, like a calliope gone out of tune. And those crows sing a song that's all busted and wrong by the cold light of the old crooked moon. They sing a broke down honky-tonk waltz, a broke down honky-tonk waltz, a broke down honky-tonk waltz. The honky-tonk waltz, which was recently illustrated, and I'll be publishing that illustration on my upcoming album, which is called Swimming in Falling Water. And my good friend Sam Bryan made a beautiful illustration of that song, a tasty little drawing. I should have put it up so I could show it to you here now, but suffice to say, it was a charming thing, and I loved it so very much, and I thank him so much for that thing that he did. And you're my audience today. Nice to see you all. Nice to see you all. There you go. If any of you are lurking and you don't have access to the chat, that's fine. I'm glad you're hanging in with us too. My grandpa was a grifter, a gambler and a heel. He snuck around from town to town and he dealt a dirty deal. He went out in the wild world to steal what he could steal. You know he stole a fortune, but the money wasn't real. No, the money wasn't real. Funny how it is, you know now the money wasn't real. He set out as a bandit, he came back empty-handed. He should have been a rich man, but the money wasn't real. Now the Pharaoh was a miser, and his story has been told. He had 10,000 workers build a pyramid to hold all his statues and his trappings, his caskets and his gold. He wanted to have everything, but all he got was old, 'cause none of it was real. Funny how it is, you know now, none of it was real. His monument so grand just got covered up by sand. Now he's just another mummy, oh man, 'cause none of it was real. poor man buys a loaf of bread, he shares it and it's gone. A rich man wrecks his portion, yet his wealth keeps rolling on. And the good things that you've said and done are nothing you can pawn. 'Cause when you're in the underclass, you're always overdrawn. 'Cause the money isn't real. Funny how it is, you know now the money isn't real. You can follow all the rules made by idiots for fools, and you think you'll get your just reward, but you won't. You won't pick up a penny, oh, but you might spare a dime. $1 buys a pretty meager way to waste your time. A C note gets you groceries, and $1,000 might buy a thrill. You might rake in a shitload and still not get your fill. I live in America, a country built on greed, and I suppose that's not a bad thing if you just take what you need. But it seems everyone's afflicted by a hunger to exceed. Why should one man have 1 billion when there's 1,000,000 mouths to feed? 'Cause the money isn't real. Funny how it is, you know now the money isn't real. You can burn it, you can earn it, but in the end you'll learn that it all amounts to nothing. Now I bought me some insurance in case I pass away. I've heard that that could happen. Who am I to say? I might live forever and they'd never have to pay. Shit, who would be the loser then if it all turned out that way? 'Cause the money isn't real. Funny how it is, you know now the money isn't real. You can spend it, you can lend it, but you'll find that in the end it all amounts to nothing. Yes, it's funny how it all amounts to nothing. So funny how it all amounts to nothing. 'Cause the money isn't. The fiduciary substance has a surreal quality to it. It comes and it goes. It flums and it flows. And that's another song from Salt for Silver. Riding on an off-bound train, leave the South behind. Rolling through the blue-gray dawn, feel the past unwind. Hills and valleys, streets and alleys, little towns all in a row. The people I may never meet, in places I may never go. Sometimes feel just like a gambler, watch my fortunes break. Or just like some weary rambler, I'm wondering which fork to take. Got my backpack and my guitar, pocket change to pay my way. Bought myself a one-way fare, I'm going home and there I'll stay. Living up to what I said I'd do. Girl, you know I'm coming home to you. Play some changes while I'm rolling, looking for the words to sing. Take my rhythm from the train tracks, and I wonder what the muse will bring. Fellow travelers in this night car, asking me what songs I play. They sometimes strike a harmony as we pass the rattling miles away. Living up to what I said I'd do. girl, you know I'm coming home to you. Giving up the games I tried to play, coming home to you, and there I'll stay. Riding on a northbound train, leave the South behind, rolling through the blue-gray dawn, and I feel the past unwind. Locomotive acoustic sampling done by my mouth. My mouth. Rhymes with South, and that leads us inevitably to the next song. Take a moment to get in tune. Introduce myself to some people who I don't see them in chat, but I know they're here. My name is Bert Lee. If you know who I am, I'm happy to be playing for you this time. There we go. This is a song from an album called The Big Wide Album, which I released back in 2001. And I've recorded this song twice now, and I look forward to recording it again. I'm doing currently an album with my old buddy Dan Simpson, engineer and producer extraordinaire. He's mixing and also producing and helping direct me through an album I'm making right now called Swimming in Falling Water. That will be out just in a matter of a few weeks. Try to stay busy. And anyway, I'm going to try to do another version of this song with Dan Simpson at the control board. I've just come down to tell you about some music that I've heard. It's the band that plays on weekends down at Eddie's Crossroads Bar. They live out behind the diner in a bus that's up on blocks. If they ever get it rolling, I believe that they'll go far. Their leader's Alexander with his double-neck guitar, who comes from Spain by way of San Francisco. His girlfriend is Elena from the hills of Bogota. When he met her, she was dancing in a disco. And the name of the band is The Sad Spanish Man and the Beautiful Indian Girl. Now their drummer is Matsui, he's a Japanese Hawaiian. He grew up playing country blues in Memphis, Tennessee. He drops his one right on the bar and then he kicks the 2 and 4. And sometimes you can find him with a banjo on his knee. And there's Jazzy Jan from Amsterdam, who fills in all the leads on the saxophone, sitar, and balalaika. And Brooklyn Bob's the sound man, he's the master of the mix. He could put a shine on 1956 Formica. Now these are the pieces that make up their sound and the people that make up their world. The name of the band is The Sad Spanish Man and the Beautiful Indian Girl. Oh, now Eddie tries to manage them, but he doesn't have a clue about the market niche where he try to sell them. When the business people ask him about the bag they occupy, he doesn't have a notion what to tell them. There's a taste of gypsy zydeco and a hint of western swing, some polka blues and psychedelic soul. Throw in some mariachi and a lick of folky funk, and your mama and your papa's a rock and roll. Oh, it's a crazy quilt pattern, kaleidoscope, rainbow design on the flag they unfurl. The name of the band is the Sad Spanish Man and the Beautiful Indian Girl. They've got lyrics like the Beatles, they've got lyrics like the Dead, they've got lyrics like the Kingsmen where you're not sure what they said. Oh, but when they start to harmonize, all the angels shut their mouth. It's all about the unity of North, East, West, and South. These are the pieces that make up their sound and the people that make up their world. The name of the band is the Sad Spanish Man and the Beautiful Indian Girl. It's a crazy quilt pattern, kaleidoscope, rainbow design on the flag they unfurl. And the name of the band is the Sad Spanish Man and the Beautiful Indian Girl. That's a song about cultural diversity. Cultural diversity. There's another tune from recent memory. Actually, this song took a long time to write, but as it turned out, it helped me finish my book, Dead Man's Coat, because as I was writing that book, I had left this song unfinished, and I was trying to get the feeling of what it was like out west during the gold rush, and because that's what the book is about, my grandfather's time as a young man in the gold rush, and my fingers would give out typing words, and I would pick up the guitar and I'd work on songs. And working on this song led me to some good places. Rattlesnake waits in the shadow of a rock, field mouse hides from the eyes of a hawk, cactus stands like a statue of a man, him and me and my horse named Dan on a dusty road. Indian watching from a switchback ridge, ghost riders running up a cloudy bridge, twilight stealing in a corner of the sky, riding along thinking by and by I'll put down my load. Give me sweet fresh water now, and give me a cool, cool breeze. Let me lay my head down in a grove of shady trees. I'd like a big white house with a pretty little wife inside, and a moonlight Palomino I can ride. There's a ghost town down where the creek ran dry, buzzards circle in the hard blue sky, dusty old bar, empty bottles on the shelf, piano in a corner that plays itself. It's a spooky sound. I hitched my horse to an old fence rail, fetched up water in a leaky pail. I'm gonna get out of town before the daylight fails, 'cause I don't want to stick around. Give me sweet fresh water now, and give me a cool, cool breeze. Let me lay my head down in a grove of shady trees. I'd like a big white house with a pretty little wife inside, and a moonlight Palomino I can ride. Jackrabbit runs from the scattering stones. Blackbird cries to rattle your bones. Cow skull laying by a watering hole. Don't drink there, you might lose your soul in the burning sun. I left my home and I can't go back. Wildflower growing in a wagon wheel track. Dry wind coming down from the hills, looking for a place a waterfall spills when the day is done. Give me sweet fresh water now, and give me a cool, cool breeze. Let me lay my head down in a grove of shady trees. I'd like a big white house with a pretty little wife inside, and a moonlight palomino I can ride. Moonlight Palomino, Moonlight Palomino. There you go. Okay. Switch out this capo for that capo. It's another tune from the Big White album, the Sad Spanish Man, Beautiful Indian Girl was, I think, the featured song on there, but I had a couple of nice tunes on there. You're a bus driver bound from the lights of the city through the quiet of little towns lost in the night. Exits and off-ramps and neon-lit diners, and the bright eyes of rabbits like stars on the roadside. And the radio reminds you of all that's behind you. Your poor eyes are dazzled by the oncoming light. The white line goes through you. You don't know now, do you, why the good folks won't turn down their brights? Through the long night the dark traffic sighs. What color are the bus driver's eyes? Puzzles and riddles and cats that play fiddles, and children that change in the rays of the moon. The little dog laughed just to see such a sight, and the dish ran away with the media tycoon. Are we almost there yet, and why is the rain wet? Who spilled the stars on the silvery deeps? Look up out your window and watch the moon follow. Little Finnegan can't get to sleep. So many what ifs and whys. What do you see when you shut down your eyes? There once was a maiden who escaped from her bower by cutting off all of her beautiful hair. Weaving a ladder she climbed from the tower and ran off and left not a note on a chair. There was an old farmer who traded his best cow for a hand-scribbled map and an old rusty key. The little dog wept just to hear such a tale. The tears that he offered would fill up the sea. So many what ifs and whys. What do you see when you shut down your eyes? Little Finnegan. Little Finnegan. I didn't write this one, but it's in the public domain. Peter Michael Smith. The Dutchman's not the kind of man who keeps his thumb jammed in the dam that holds his dreams in. But that's a secret only Margaret knows. When Amsterdam is golden in the summer, Margaret brings him breakfast. She believes him. He thinks that tulips bloom beneath the snow. He's mad as he can be, but Margaret only sees that sometimes. Sometimes she sees her unborn children in his eyes. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man. Dear Margaret remembers that for me. The Dutchman still wears wooden shoes. His coat and cap are stitched with love that Margaret sews in them. Sometimes he thinks he's still in Rotterdam. He follows tugboats down canals and waves to them when he thinks he knows the captain, till Margaret comes to take him home again, through unforgiving streets that trip him though she holds his arm. Sometimes he thinks that he's alone, calls her name. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man. Dear Margaret remembers that for me. The winter whirls, the windmills round. She winds his muffler tight. They sit in the kitchen. Some tea with whiskey keeps away the dew. He sees her for a moment, says her name. She makes the bed up singing some old love song, a song that Margaret learned when it was new. Sings a line or two, they hum together in the night. The Dutchman falls asleep and Margaret blows the candle out. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man. Dear Margaret remembers that for me. Hello, new listeners. Thanks for dropping in. I've hit the hour mark, but since I have new listeners, I've stretched my set out to give you some joy. That's the Dutchman. And it's a traditional song. It's traditional, yes, in a sense it's traditional. The song was popularized by Mississippi John Hurt, but I think the basic tune goes back a ways, even before that, because he is even older than I am. Candyman, he's been and gone. Oh, Candyman, he's been and gone. Now Candyman, he's been and gone, and I would do anything in this God Almighty world to bring my Candyman home. Little red light, a little green light. Oh, little red light, little green light. Little red light, little green light. Oh, won't you stop at the red and go at the green? Won't you mess with Mr. In Between? Run, fetch a pitcher, get your baby some beer, and run, fetch a pitcher, get your baby some beer, and run, fetch a pitcher, get your baby some beer. I'd do anything in this God Almighty world to bring my candy man home. Peppermint stick, a little brass band. Peppermint stick, oh, little brass band. Peppermint stick, little brass band. Now I wish I was down in New Orleans, working in a candy stand. Oh, run, fetch a pitcher, get your baby some beer. Run, fetch a pitcher, get your baby some beer. Oh, run, fetch a pitcher, get your baby some beer. I'd do anything in this God Almighty world to bring my candy man home. Candy man, oh, salty dog. Oh, candy man, salty dog. Oh, candy man, salty dog. Oh, won't you be my candy man, and I can be your salty dog. Oh, now run, fetch a pitcher, get your baby some beer. Run, fetch a pitcher, get your baby some beer. Run, fetch a pitcher, get your baby some beer. I would do anything in this God Almighty world to bring my candy man home. Mississippi John Hurt. It only hurts when I do that song. Well, let's just stick with a couple of traditional tunes here. This song goes back to the 14th century, and I learned it from the formidable and grandmaster of science fiction, my friend Samuel Delaney, when I was in a band with him called The Heavenly Breakfast, living in a commune with him that was called The Heavenly Breakfast. And the song is not called The Heavenly Breakfast. The song is called Tom o' Bedlam. Bedlam boys, Bedlam boys, Bedlam boys are bonny, for they all go bare and they live in the air, and they want no drink nor money. From the hag and hungry goblin that into rags would rend ye, spirits that stand by a naked man in the Book of Moons defend ye. That of your 5 sound senses you shall not be forsaken, or wander from yourselves with Tom abroad to beg your bacon. I do sing any food, any feeding, shelter, drink, or clothing. Come dame nor maid, be not afraid, poor Tom will endure nothing. Now the moon's my constant mistress, and the lonely owl my marrow. The flaming drake and the night crow make me music to my sorrow. I know more than Apollo, for oft while he lay sleeping, I see the stars in bloody wars, and the wounded welkin weeping. Oh, I do sing any food, any feeding, shelter, drink, or clothing. Come dame nor maid, be not afraid, poor Tom will endure nothing. Or with a host of furious fancies, whereof I am commander, with a flaming spear and a horse of air, to the wilderness I wander. By a night of ghosts and shadows I summon am to tourney 10 leagues beyond the wide world's end. Methinks it is no journey. I do sing any food, any feeding, shelter, drink, or clothing. Come dame nor maid, be not afraid, poor Tom will endure nothing. I'll find my merry mad Maudlin, and I'll seek whate'er betides her, and I will love beneath of above the dirty earth that hides her. My staff has murdered giants, my bag a long knife carries, for to cut mince pies for children's thighs with which to feed the fairies. Oh, I do sing any food, any feeding, shelter, drink, or clothing. Come dame nor maid, be not afraid, poor Tom will injure nothing. Bedlam boys, Bedlam boys are bonny, for they all go bare, and they live on the air, and they want no drink nor money. Oh, those Bedlam boys, they're just so bonny. So bonny. I got 2 more songs for you, and then I'm done. And thank you so much for coming to my musical time here, and thank you for being my friends, and thanks for supporting live music. If you have friends that do this, it is getting old for the world at large to have everybody, doing live streams, and I always do appreciate when something comes in through that channel there. But if you've done that in the past and you're tapped out as far as doing that goes, the thing you can do is to try to convince a friend that what I offer is good and they should come and listen to me, because I'd love to expand my audience and meet new people and please some more folks, and they give me good ideas about where to go next in what I do. And you guys are the wonderful, wonderful, steadfast audience that comes to hear me, and I appreciate your friendship so very, very much. A plastic bag blows down the street, gets tangled in a tree. Chances are another breeze will come to break it free and blow it down the alley, through the backlots to the beach, where a child may try to catch it, but it sails right past her reach. It floats out on the ocean, it settles on the tide, and a passing whale may swallow it, it gets lodged inside. Run, Jenny, run, come look what's washed up on the sands. Come and see the gentle giant that's been slain by unknown hands. It's not your fault and it's not mine. It didn't happen by design. It makes us sad, it makes no sense. It's only unintended consequence. An old man has a cardboard shack in a weed-choked vacant lot. He's long since quit regretting all the things he hasn't got. He seeks no help from strangers, he lives as best he can. People say he's homeless, but I say he's just a man. He comes down to my street and lays a blanket on the ground, and he makes a meager livelihood from things that he has found. He might accept a quarter, he'll settle for a dime, till the police come and stop him, 'cause they say that that's a crime. It's not your fault and it's not mine. It didn't happen by design. It makes us sad, it makes no sense. It's only unintended consequence. Now the hills have caught on fire since the summer brought us drought. The rangers fight it day and night, they can't put it out. The people here are used to it, it happens every year. When a thing becomes familiar, we lose all sense of fear. The weather lady tells us that there's not much chance for rain. The scientists predicted this, and the Christians all are praying. But as for me, I'll find a quiet hill to watch it from, and practice my acceptance of the things that surely come. It's not my fault, and it's not yours. Sometimes it's parched, sometimes it pours, There's no blame here to dispense. There's only unintended consequence. It's not their fault, and it's not mine. It didn't happen by design. Let's just say it was a long chain of events that led to unintended consequence. I've got a late-comer visitor. I'll stretch it out a little bit more. I don't want you to leave hungry, as they say. Alrighty, couple more tunes then. Just a reminder for those of you that are fans of what I do as far as my writing goes. And I'm glad you like my writing, my songs, my books. I think nearly everyone I see who visits me at my live streams have read my books, and that makes me very happy because I really feel I'm very proud of the work that I've done. I just released this, sans that little black line that runs across the front there that tells me this is the author's final proof. This book is now available from Amazon Books. It's called The White Gallery and Other Tales of My New York, and it's a collection of intriguing and possibly tantalizing short stories. I'm sure you will find them amusing, disturbing, and all the things we want, good writing to be. Morning comes to touch the hills and to wake the sleeping sky. Hold on a second. Guitar's doing a funny thing here. That's it. Morning comes to touch the hills and to wake the sleeping world. Hang the dew upon the blades of grass like strings of pearls. I rise up from my sleep to find you laying by my side, clinging to your last of dreams and breathing like the tide. I won't wake you, I'll just wait and hold you in my eyes. Peaceful as a ship of clouds that sails the crystal skies. I'll go and put the kettle on, just to make our morning brew. If you were the first to rise, I know that's what you do. If there's ever been a sweeter day, I swear I don't know when, since you came into my life, it's all been new again. All these years I spent alone, just watching time slip by, filling up with emptiness and taking love to be alive, filling pages up with words, oh, just to make my broken song. Never knowing you were somewhere waiting all along. Now there's never been a sweeter day, my lover and my friend, since you chose to take this road. It's all been new again. Morning comes to touch the hills and to wake the sleeping rose, throwing diamonds on the river so it flashes as it flows. This world is lovely, it can't be denied, you know that's true. Twice as lovely with two pairs of eyes to see it through. If there's ever been a sweeter day, I swear I don't know when, since you chose to take this road. It's all been true again. New again. Oh, wow, look at that. A bunch of people dropping in at the end of my hour. And I was going to quit, but I can't do that because I have several new listeners. And welcome. If you have access to chat, say hello so I know who you are. I love to know who I'm playing for. Makes me happy. Makes me happy that you're just here listening. How cool and groovy it is. I can always just add more songs because I got plenty of songs for you, for your listening enjoyment. Monsters are all very scary, monsters are easy to fake. When people are cruel to each other, it's really much harder to take. And the things we allow to control us should be subject to careful review. You've got monsters inside, monsters inside, monsters inside you. Children look up from the games you play to the life that they want you to live. They'll never explain all the rules to you or how much they expect you to give. And the things you'll do just to get by, they all come as a wonder to you. There's a stranger inside of me, and a stranger inside of you. Don't be afraid, don't be surprised. See the stranger in your eyes. Don't you worry what to do. It's only life, it's only you. How many times did you wake up just to find you were still in the dream? The moments of light, the Feelings of love flow by like a silvery stream, and the person you see in the mirror should be someone you're happy to be. There's angels inside me, angels inside of me. Don't be afraid, don't be surprised. See the angels in your eyes. Don't be frightened if you should fall. Only love, and love is all. And that's from my album, which is entitled The Girl in the Golden Atom, which I released back in 2003 or 2004. Hard to keep track. I put an album out almost every year for a long time. I took a break for a while from that, and then when I started being the host of various really nice open mics in the village, exposed to all of the brilliant young and old songwriters that I encountered there, I started writing lots of new songs, which is what I'm supposed to do. I'm a songwriter. And nice if I got people still hanging in there. Like I say, if you have access to chat, do say howdy, and just long enough. You know, we don't have to chat. It's just nice to know who's here, that's all. I'm a shipwrecked man in a sea of trouble, watching the rain make crazy puzzles on the window pane. In a sea of rain, how do you stay dry? When I'm down, I go put on a record, even if I've heard that song too many times before. I play it one time more, it still makes me cry. She's gone, she left no note, no number to call. She's gone, and lately I ain't seen her at all again, and all I do is watch the rain. She's gone, she left no note, no number to call. She's gone, and lately I ain't seen her at all again, and all I do is watch the rain. And if I were a bird, I'd fly above this rain cloud. Where the sun is shining, I'd be flying high. At least I'd try, oh, if I were a bird, but I ain't. If you ain't heard, I'm just a shipwrecked man in a sea of trouble, watching the rain make crazy puzzles on the window pane. In a sea of rain, how do you stay dry? The shipwrecked man, with some finger fudging in there. Hello, Woody. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. I do this on Sunday nights, but I'm thinking of shifting my venue to weekday evenings around the same time, 7 o'clock or something, after people's dinners. Just because Sundays are long and it's getting to be nice outside. And, you know, it's nice out. The old vaudeville line, don't leave it out. But people are going to stay out later as a result, and so 7 o'clock on a Sunday night might not be the best time. So I'm meditating upon, maybe I'll do 2 a week, I don't know. I did that for a while, and that's what it is. Songs. past is lost, the future is never. But now is forever. And all of those golden moments that were your treasure have fallen away like dreams. Now is forever. The wheels of days and years are constantly spinning. The ending was written before the very beginning. The past is lost, the future is never. Oh, but now is forever. Wheels of days and years are constantly spinning. The ending was written before the very beginning. The past is lost, the future is never. Oh, but now is forever. Well, the sun is going down and the tide is coming in, and the breeze that rises on the twilight feels so cool against my skin. Sea breeze, pretty clouds are drifting through the sky. They are lifted up and floating on the instant. I find you standing by my side. Oh, won't you come with me? We're flying on a sea breeze. Seagulls hang suspended as they turn into the wind. Take my hand, my darling, let this moment never end. The sailboats race across the waves, leaving wakes of diamond lace. And the day moon hides behind the blue sky to remind me of my lover's face. Sea breeze, pretty clouds are drifting through the sky. They are lifted up and floating on the instant. I find you standing by my side. Come with me, we're flying on a sea breeze. Seagulls hang suspended as they turn into the wind. Take my hand, my darling, let this moment never end. Sea breeze, pretty clouds are drifting through the sky, lifted up and floating on the instant. I find you standing by my side. Won't you come with me, flying on a sea breeze? Seagulls hang suspended as they turn into the wind. Take my hand, my darling, let this moment never end. Alrighty, up still, people dropping in. The numbers keep getting larger over here. Latecomers, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Bert Lee doing original songs. Get nicely in tune for you there. And 1 second while I just check something in my computer. Checking the temperature. Nice, the temperature is good. Don't want to overheat my computer. 2 more songs. That's what you get. 2 more songs for you latecomers. I guess you got 4 or 5 songs. I start at 7, so if you'd like to hear all of the songs, tonight I did mostly my folk and country repertoire, which is pretty sizable, but as I had to stretch out to accommodate you new folks, it's my pleasure to do so. That's all I can say. Just add some new songs, and we sort of slipped over into the jazzier side of things. The bellhop, he don't jump to do the chores. The elevator man's getting drunk between the floors at the Blue Hotel. At the Blue Hotel. Stay there overnight, they are bound to treat us right. You're always welcome at the Blue Hotel. The upstairs maid's got something going on the side. The house dick, he's been known to take a bribe at the Blue Hotel. You can bring along your aunt, meet me by the potted plant in the lobby of the Blue Hotel. But when you step down and dine in our luxurious lounge, you'll get the finest meal that the house can scrounge. The chef is deaf, hear the waitress yell in the kitchen of the Blue Hotel. The house band plays an anonymous bop. They play Savoy and the Bunny Hop. Busboys in the back room dancing with a mop in the basement of the Blue Hotel. Ring that bell if you want to call the clerk. Knock on the desk if the bell don't work at the Blue Hotel. When you stepping off the street, you'll find the service so discreet. You're always welcome at the Blue Hotel. Oh, now the desk clerk's name is Grit Pipe Thin, and he checks you out as he checks you in. He writes your name with a pen on his chain. As he does this thing, you check out the terrain. You see Slippery Sylvester and his sinister maw hanging out in the shadows that lurk in the hall. The eyeballs are moving in a portrait on the wall in the foyer, and way up in the corner by the dusty curtain lining, there's a fat black spider dining. The picture isn't nice. There are poker-playing mice behind the baseboards of the Blue Hotel. Ring that bell if you want to call the clerk. Knock on the desk if the bell don't work at the Blue Hotel. We'll stay there overnight. They are bound to treat us right. You're always welcome at the Blue Hotel. Stepping off the street, you'll find the service so discreet. You're always welcome at the Blue Hotel. Don't steal the ashtrays. Well, the time can go so slowly in a barroom late at night, where the people move like ghosts through the smoky candlelight. And the band is playing something that's got distance, man, they're cool. In the shadows of the back room, some old boys are playing pool. And this blue light music's got me sinking into deep amnesia. I get the funniest feeling, it must be deja vu. I'll tell you something, brother, just one time through too. And it all comes back so clearly when I only stop to think. And on that note, I think I'll go and get myself another drink. And this blue light music's got me sinking into deep amnesia. There's a joke I'd like to tell you, but they say my timing's off. And before I hit the punchline, I always take a drag and cough. And that's just another nasty habit that I really ought to break. Oh, but if I don't, you know that won't be my first mistake. The bartender calls me buddy, the waitress calls me hun. The only song I request all night is Mother Nature's Son. But the band, they just can't swing to that, so they play some Miles instead. And these crazy syncopations are all just fucking with my head. And this blue light music's got me Well, it's getting close to closing time, and the bouncer starts to loom, and the manager is turning out all the lights around the room, and the chairs are on the table, and the band is getting paid. I leave here trying to hang on to those memories that they played. And this blue light music's got me sinking into deep amnesia. This blue light music's got me sinking into deep. And I thank you all for hanging with me on this Sunday night, March 21st. Hope it's a nice evening for you. Enjoy your dinner, enjoy your friends, enjoy yourself. Thanks for visiting. These cornball chords are brought to you with great love. And I bid you all